Victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free. Praise be to praise be, praise be, praise be. Bless our great nation, Zambia, Zambia, free men we stand. Zambia, praise to thee. Oh, one strong and free. Please pray for us.
Our dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you, I want to glorify your name in this wonderful time. God, without you, we are nothing. We are here because you have made it possible for all of us to be here, Almighty God. God, we put everything in your hands because we always believe that you are the maker. You are the one who knows what we need as your children. Tamulolesha pamenso mweshikulu echo mwelesa twaite fyo mukulu bwenu lengeni amashiwi ayo kalume wenu alalanda pano ya akwingia katika mtima Yesu nokuleta ichitemwiko fwe bana benu. Zambia is a Christian nation, Almighty God, and we still insist that let that sink in everyone's mind that we are your children and we believe in you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you. I did know that my paper name my. Okay. Let me call upon recognize President Sampa. I recognize your presence. Just one.
Bonse mwese nuku. Natewe media isakunu. Bonse. Bonse mwese.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Funa. I'm a member of the Central Committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Louis Semani, MCCPA.
Next MCC President, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Zefania Piri, Second Vice Information and Publicity, MCC. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Good afternoon. My name is Ali Zulu, MCCPA. Thank you.
Next MCC President. Another very important person, but she's not MCC. I'm calling her to come and introduce herself.
Mubato. Thank you. Bonse pano mkwai mwalinji shiba? Nanga mamona ineni shimwamuna na rasata. I'm not MCC, but I'm a founder member of Patriotic Front. My name's Charity Mlenga Katongo Banda. Thank you.
Introduce yourself also. What's your name? Speak up. Rochelle who? Okay, which school do you go to? See? You want to trouble me when there are people telling to trouble you. Go to mommy. But Amari said, man. Last but not the least, I want to introduce somebody special to heart. I'll let him introduce himself. He's learning the ropes of politics, and I want him to introduce himself.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here with the father to me, Honorable Sampa. My name is Chilufia Sata. And before I can continue, I'd just like us to just have a minute of silence for the student that owns who has passed away. We just have a minute of silence.
Amen.
Amen.
Introduce yourself properly, not what
Lekufunda politics. You didn't introduce yourself properly. Say with strength, with vigor, who you are, where you're from, what you studied, where, what do you want to be when you grow up in August.
Yes. That's a correct.
No, I was looking at time, but since I've been given enough time to explain myself, my name is Chilufya Strata III. I studied in Malaysia, I got a degree in international business management, and I'm one of the aspiring members of parliament from Pika Central. Initially, and we're very, very happy with us taking shape in the opposition, seeing that the opposition is unifying, seeing President Mao Sampa, President Harry Kalawa, and other opposition leaders are coming together for the betterment of Zambia. Because as the youth, we're very, very confused where to go. I myself was planning to stand as an independent in Pika, but because I've got mothers in politics like Charity Banda and fathers in politics like Uncle Mouse, they called us and they're here to guide us on the next course to take. Thank you very much.
Rule number one, understand ekisungu kyakumaleza tekyakuvootera efyo. Under vernacular kirembo ky'okunfa. This young man is a grandson to the founding father of the PF, Michael Chilufya Sata. May he so rest in peace. One of his sons, you know Mulenga, the younger brother was called Chilufya Sata. And Chilufya Sata passed on or died, I think, in 2009 or so. And may he so rest in peace. His son is him. His father was Chilufya, now he left the son called Chilufya. So this one is Chilufya Jr. So he's a grandson to the late president. So he called me yesterday next to Munkomaza, I wanna stand MP, I wanna. That we Senate quarter press conference. So he wants to stand in Mpika, August. Alechita consult, Wakapianga, Varefo Minomana, Mulanshani. Thank you, Sani. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, and the media, the press, and everybody that is here, members of the Central Committee present here, and members of the PF Secretariat present here, led by long-serving member Mr. Lifwekelo, and our supporters that are here. Fellow citizens, distinguished members of the Central Committee, provincial leaders, district leaders, members of the press and the international community. My name is Miles Sampa, Member of Parliament for Matero, and in the speech I'll say what else I hold as a position. Fellow citizens, I address you today at a critical juncture in our country's democratic journey. A moment that calls for courage, clarity, and above all, unity of purpose among all opposition parties. Time is not on our side. Bear in mind, the general election are in August, and the 12th, is it 12th? 13th. They come every 5 years, and it's a constitutional requirement. In between, there's a president that is elected and lasts for 5 years. And last time that was elected 5 years ago was President Akainde Chilema, and we continue to call him president, but his tenure is coming to an end on that 13th August. So it's everyone's democratic right now to revive opposition, and it's everyone's right as citizens to choose who they want to vote for. Same for mayors, same for MPs, same for councillors and council chairpersons. Time is not our side. The urgency of the Our demands that we rise above divisions. This time demands that we rise above divisions, egos above egos, and historical misunderstandings, and come together as one formidable force. The Patriotic Front, the PF Farmers Alliance, remain committed to fostering genuine unity among opposition political parties, because we are fully aware that no single opposition party standing alone can unseat the ruling establishment. The time for unity, the time for collaboration is now, and it's not tomorrow. We have already taken decisive steps in this direction on my part as Mao Sampa and the people that are here. Our engagement with fellow opposition leaders has begun in earnest. We've begun running, not walking, including a fruitful and progressive meeting with Citizen First CF President Mr. Ari Kalava. He was here at home yesterday. This is only the beginning. We had lunch. We discussed, we already told ourselves, he used to text me, call me, let's meet, and I would not be available, but yesterday I called him myself, my brother, let's meet, and he came. We promised ourselves to break bread. They say you are not colleagues or brothers renewed if you don't eat a meal together. So yesterday we had lunch together, we had Wali together, and this morning he called and he said he wants to revenge, to put it in his own way, that he wants to revenge that I go to his house and have a meal there. So it starts from there. And I'm willing and I want to do that to any other opposition leaders, that we have a rapport. That's the beginning point. This is only the beginning. We extend an open hand to all opposition leaders to join us in building a united front that reflects the aspirations of the Zambian people. Let it be clear, unity is not a sign of weakness. It is demonstration of maturity, responsibility, and commitment to national interests, where you put others and the country first and yourself second. That's where I am now. Anything I do, you'll see that I'm not putting myself first. That's what comes with gray hair. Before, you just want to be you, and nobody. But now, I'm doing everything for everyone that is in the opposition and for the sake of the nation. Let me now address the legal status of our party, the Patriotic Front, and recent court developments. We acknowledge the recent court rulings that have brought clarity to the legal standing of the Patriotic Front. These decisions, rendered under immense pressure, reaffirms the resilience of our democratic institutions. It's been a long time coming. I've spent the last 3 years, if not 4 years, in and out of court, nearly every day, pursuing justice, in particular on matters to do with the PF. We extend our sincere gratitude to the judiciary, in particular Judge Concepta Chinyana Zulu, for upholding justice and delivering a final verdict guided by the rule of law. And most people have confessed that the ruling is solid and objective and is watertight, and it was premised on the rule of law. This outcome strengthens our belief that despite challenges, the judiciary remains the cornerstone of our democracy. For avoidance of doubt, the ruling on the 27th March this year, last month, effectively stated that I, Maus Bwalia Sampa, is the legal president of the Patriotic Front. That I have been president from 24th October 2023 for a 5-year term to October 2028. In the past 3 years, judgments with similar implications were made by various High Court judges. This was not the first one. Various High Court judges in the last 3 years, made judgments that summarizes and says that Mao Sampa is the legal bona fide elected president of the PF. Some of these judgments were made by High Court Judge Chocho, High Court Judge Siloka, and twice in the Constitution Court of Zambia, judgments were made with simple implication that Mao Sampa is the legal bona fide elected president of the PF from 2023 for a 5-year term to 2028. All this earlier on the 3rd of March last month, Judge Sisi Zulu also made a final judgment that stated that Mr. Morgan Ngona was correctly fired as SG by yours truly, by Mao Sampa, in his capacity as PF president. Mr. Ngona has since appealed the ruling and obtained an ex-party injunction, stopping myself from removing him on the list of office bearers at the Registrar of Societies. This matter comes up for inter-party hearing on the 14th of April this year. We are confident that even in this matter, we are confident that justice will prevail. The wheels of justice take long, but they do grind. At some point, justice does prevail. The PF has never died. Let me make it clear. The PF has never died. The PF is not dead, and the PF will never die. Yes. And like what we others say, let me repeat once more for the second time, as I did before. Then I'll make it twice. Which are journalists? Are they journalists?
Yes, they are.
Ask them to add so I can repeat myself once more for the second time, as I did before.
Yes, they are.
They must be. Are they from
different media institutions, sir?
ZNBC. Today I wanted was ZNBC. I want to repeat. Welcome, journalists. Better late than never. I want to repeat this sentence so you can start from here. Switch on your recorder. Everyone now has a recorder, not a camera, but everyone has a phone and instant recording. So I want to repeat this point, because if you want to summarize my speech in one sentence, you can even take this one, although there should be two. I want to repeat. The Patriotic Front, the PF, has never died. The PF is not dead. The PF will never die. When you hear anyone, is saying amongst us, no, PF is dead, PF is dead. When you hear anyone amongst us saying the opposite, just look close at their history. You will find that there are those that came from MMD after we had formed government. Their only agenda since SATA. Their only agenda since SATA, and now ECL died, their only agenda has been to kill PF. So they can move structures to some small parties that they think they can control. Never. So you hear people, you're telling them, the matter is in court. Does it mean if the matter is in court, then PF is dead? No. How do they know the result? So some have been going to pray, because the part of my structures is Mulaba Konka. Mulaba Konka Gavaisa Kuti Maisha PF. Bami tuwala kuli two party to no. I have news for those who dream. Mostly amongst us, the ruling party members, that's their duty to oppose us. But some are within us, even holding big positions, but they want the PF to die. They, like I heard today's statement from some senior person, that let's forget PF is dead. Maybe you will PF is not dead. I have news for them. No genuine PF members will ever follow you. They will eat with you, whatever you give them, but retreat back to the genuine PF. Guys, Scott and Sat and Raisio told the PF members, don't kubeba. Songa vaisa abantu jitienu kapati akamuleya, vami pela, vigafe vapusha mawera. Nga bamwe bati mbenu lwimbo tumutuke mao Sampa kwimba kwe chileya bati. Mwayimba bamipela mafumako. Umutima PF ni mukati. Nkama nipe vote. In the end, these PF members countrywide, in all the constituencies, in all the wards, in all the districts, in all the 10 provinces, they know where their heart is, as they are saying, and they will stay with PF. Yes. So those who are wishing PF and they miss MMD, they are free to go. They will go alone. However, the same way they came and joined us after we won in 2011, even when we win in August, they will be free to come back. Even these that are joining UPND, look at them. You go in records, you find that they joined us after we had won. So they don't know struggle. They don't know fight. Nibachinshi. Let me talk about the leadership continuity and internal stability. Let me talk about our party's leadership and internal stability. We wish to reaffirm our continued respect for all leaders who were appointed and left in position of authority by His Excellency Edgar Chagwalungu. Their contributions remain invaluable to the party's strength and direction. If you followed the history, me and Balungu, he was my brother. We were fighting politically, not physically. Yes. Even when you were thinking we are fighting, inside we were inboxing each other and chatting, but politically we would fight. So what happened after the convention, later on we reconciled. Even the fight with my brothers, Honorable Robert Chabinga, the fight with my brothers, Morgan Ingona and others, began simply because I reconciled with President Edgar Lungu. Yes, it's true. Them and many others just wanted me and President Edgar Lungu to be apart. I went just down the road in Ibex. We spent 6 hours, reconciled, hugged, and embraced, and we were brothers. We stayed until 01. Guess what? After that, we went to South Africa. It turned out that was the last we would see each other, because when we went to South, then he died. So it was God-given that I reconciled with him. Even me, I didn't even know where the power came from. I just said, let me go to my brother. And we reconciled, hugged. The pictures are there. Where I sit here, I know that it was Almighty God's intervention. Can you imagine if we didn't reconcile how I would have been feeling? I would have been guilty for the rest of my life. Guilt, and they will always be guilty for the rest of their lives. Those who mistreated Edgar Chagwalungu, mulamuna nofe bachitafe behave. Pandu chali ba kumukoshi. Uyu muntu nali mchita mistreati, nomba afwa. Now they want to be nice to him in his death. Inner God directed me and we reconciled. Even where he is, I think he laughs and says, oh, my brother, my young brother. Even as I'm holding this press conference, he's enjoying it. And I know even Sata is enjoying it. They are laughing. They are saying that, yeah, how much you to politics. Allow me to introduce one who's come. Chairperson for Lusaka province. Already been established. My names are Annie Blessing Chinyanta, Lusaka province chairlady for the mighty Patriotic Front party movement. She's also the councillor for Matero Wadshani. Ward 32 kwema zero kulia kuma iteneke. Not for one term, but for 2 terms. If you listen to Afwa Mpala na Yabu State House, mukamuna mtu wa Mpia. But in a Tampa today, Ampanda Manuati, Werela, in Muktima Baba Mayor, in Muktima Baba Council. But somewhere. Oh, Muktima MP, you never know. But I'll come down to that discussion now. But thank you for coming on time, Chairperson. So I was talking about we affirm our continued respect for all leaders. So I was saying how in that reconciliation I said, okay, Vamdala, I didn't know that you want to come back. Me, I thought that I'm retire. But if you want to mulewela chintu gombele pamo. Kala kalambanga vai my kwikala punch. So when I was ready to kwikala punch, which I started doing. Kala kalamba vai Indiana, when I took over, it was well known that he had retired, but then later on he decided to come back. So I stood down, and when the process of handing over the process. So if you may he so rest in peace. And it hurts me that even up to now, almost 1 year, Bali Mumochai. It's almost 1 year President Edgar Lungu is in the mortuary. That issue is between President HH and the Bakabesha, the Attorney General, and the family. I want to appeal. I've never heard since I was born. Panondini Mkalamba, Nemfusha Ambila Kumwefu. Nachuma Baba Shop, Nachlaisa. Nachimona Valevesha, Mishishavanya Mata, Abachikuride. After Valeva Bika go black if you're black. In the Natiteti. My point is, I've been around. I've never seen any human being remain in mortuary for 1 year. Imama imangare kuchechi mortuary 1 year. The fridge. So this is taboo. Everywhere I travel a lot around the world, the first thing they ask, what's going on in your country? Why can't you bury your president? But I know that's a sensitive matter. May I just say all parties involved in that matter. I have nothing to do with it. Sometimes I get told, even in Parliament, the Speaker likes to say that. When I bring up asking the question to the Vice President, I say, when is your government facilitating the burial of President Karungu? The Speaker answers half the time, no, it's you to decide. You go and tell the family to do this. But I want to tell the Speaker, it's not me. I'm not the family, and I'm not government. One day I'll be government. So that matter is, as far as I know, it's a family matter, but the government, you've taken them to court that they can't bury. Now it's stuck there. On matters to do with politics, but not on matters to bury somebody. I don't know the details. I don't even want to know. May we do what we can to get our beloved president buried. Although Navari Meve at Mukamfuatama Kansange. Mukasupana torch. That's what this government is doing. Is looking for Edgar Lungu's body with a torch, Nakasu. I've said this again, time and again, and I say it now. Matters of burial, my Rotwari Burial, why charity? Niwa nantuwale pero mchinshite family. Olo tuwafikire palia, Anita of Matero died and left children, and their husband is IPS in a ward, and they were burying here. We went there, most of you saw me with that motorbike. We were coming from the burial, but there was traffic jam, and Dari Kalaba was waiting for me. So I had to leave my car, come with motorbike. Motorbike, now I jumped out and had to run here. And I saw Hari Kalaba. But when we arrived in our charity, the first people we looked for was the widow. The widower. The man whose wife died. After that, we went to the children. One of the children is a student at Ridgeway campus with a doctor. We paid condolences and greeted the little ones. Then we stood. That's all we cared for, was the family. And we asked how she died, and I gave a speech there. Similarly, in the Edgar Lungu situation, the people that matter is the family. Is the family. What they say is what we follow. What they say is what we follow. And if themselves, as they said, they wanted to bury there, the government objected. And we are now where we are now, 1 year. Walungu after this. No, so that's 9 months. Huh? It's very unfair. May whoever is involved do what they can so that we bury President Edgar Lungu. I'm not family, I'm not government. The struggle is between the two. May there be a solution so that we bury our brother, our president. All of us love him. Who doesn't love Edgar Lungu? And I have a problem to those who have only whenever temeno balungu. Inchito yabo kulanda shati weta wamtemene Lungu never namtemene. No. All of us loved President Edgar Lungu. All of us worked with him. Some of us worked with him more opposition. The day I became MP in Mateo, he also became MP in Chawama. Given Lulinda became MP in Kawati. Jean Kapata became MP in Mandevu. Nkanduluwa became MP in Munati. Lusaka Central, who became MP in Lusaka Central? Guy Scott. Not Makebi. Why she after? But before that, we were campaigning as a team. MMD was the ruling and it was lethal, and we were campaigning, and we all won landslide because we campaigned as unity. So we came far with President Edgar Lungu, became president, he campaigned for me, I became mayor, and now the last bit is the reconciliation where they drink and is gone. Now it's 9 months, he's not buried. This one is even saying, she's the one who sang that song,
Basampa mwitina imwe basampa mwitina imwe basampa mwitina oye kale mwabomba nipa watu.
That's Chirima from Chawama, where Edgar Lungu was MP, and then that's the main song we used in the mayor campaign. And Edgar was the one campaign. Yeah, he made himself my campaign manager and made me win landslide. And when we were campaigning for Bright Nundwe, she was also in the forefront of ensuring that we win there. Let me get back to the written speech. So I digressed because the name of my brother came up, and it always hurts me when I see people claiming that only them loved him and others didn't. And only them, they try to use his name to enhance their political campaigns. Now, because Mudala Aya, the Samusenda, political career Rubana, because they can't stand on their own legs. They were just very a political career. We work with people, but we've learned to stand on our own because we came far in politics. Ladies and gentlemen, we reaffirm our continued respect for all leaders who were appointed and left in positions of authority by His Excellency Edgar Lungu. Their contributions remain invaluable to the party's strength and direction. In the spirit of stability, unity and harmony, I will continue consulting those seniors that ECL left, handling the affairs of the party. So, umuntu abantu akalamba bandinale mfana nabo lesa abasenda. Twali mfwene fimo. So, baya, but there are people that I see, that I can see about everybody my trustees babo. So these are the people I'm referring to, and I'll come back to that later on. I've said I'll continue consulting them, and even as I've stated that I've been declared the undisputed president of the PF legal, okay? Where we are Kwaliwama presidents, I'm a PF president. I'm a Gonga president, photocopy president, default president, and legal president. So, Utukunkubiti president, I just know what type of a president of PF I am. I'm the legal president, elected president for 5 years. So I'm saying that I'll give respect to those that ECO left, since he was the one I was consulting with on these matters of the PF. He was the one I was more than happy to hand over so that he stands, because we're very sure he was going to win. So these people want to participate in the general election to win. And it was becoming clear that Edgar Lungu was a clear favorite for the August election. Yes. So we started the process of me handing over to him. But as God may have it, he passed on and we spoke about that. So what I'm saying here that I'll work and cooperate with those people that Edgar Lungu left. Remember, there was a legal PF I was heading and still heading. Then there was a default PF that while we were in court, Edgar Lungu and others were also with that default. Default means you are not legal, but possibly you have a claim to the title also. So those people that you worked closely, there are many. I'll cooperate with them. I'll also cooperate with candidates, those who may have paid money to stand. Remember, we were always trying to have a convention since 2021 when we lost the election. So all the candidates and all the senior people that ECO left, I'm in consultation with them that given this ruling, as that song says,
Tapare potinga chitafwe bosori chombo cha Noa tuwa mubato wa Noa na kuomba na tuomba sofa tatakaleke soli
Ochona temwa mungu muru mboni tapare potinga chitasori Court na ruling at Mao Sampa go president. Tapare potinga chitasori. Sorry. Even when we are for opposite, tapare potinga chitasori. Number to allow bomba shani. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying all those that worked closely with President Edgar Lungu, I'm consulting and with their guidance, what I want is unity of purpose. If I can meet Wakalaba, who is a leader of another party, why can we not meet, and why can I not cooperate with the people? We know those who worked closely with President Edgar Lungu. If you want me to name them, I can mention them. Honorable Given Ilubinda, Honorable Jean Kapata, Honorable Nkandulu, Honorable Sylvia Charikosa, Reverend Ismaili, Charity Kapona. Those worked very closely with President Edgar Lungu. But we know who the candidates were interested to become president of the PF when the advertisement was made in late 2021. We know these people. Let me mention them. Honorable Brian Mundubile, Honorable Chishimba Kambwe, Namukosera Chimba Kambwe, Honorable Chimba Kambwe, Honorable Grefford Monde, Honorable GBM, my uncle, but circumstances of him going to prison, I think he pulled out. Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, Honorable Dr. Chitari Chilufya, my brother in the USA, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, is my brother. We speak nearly every day and compare notes. Nababa Alipileno Mbarine, Honorable Makebi Zulu, much happened Makebi Zulu. Honorable Makebi Zulu. I'm mentioning all these people that are key stakeholders and that I'm consulting them. And who else?
Grefford Mon.
Honorable Chanda Katoto. So here my main point to take away is now that the court has declared me that the legal president of PF Liliana Lumwaiche without grey hair, natural and up. I would have run away. Never president na yafe. Na ifo tuwafe charo chesi. Tuwae minina. Wamofyo banji wachawe kawiya fie. Wale kuderera. No. I'm just part of this group. So I'll take time, and I've already started consulting those people I've mentioned who worked closely with President Edgar Lungu by the time he was dying, his close associates, his trustees. Take it or leave it. If you don't know whose trustees were for Edgar Lungu, then you are not PF. Even if you are not PF, you could still see whose trustees were. And my loyalty is with President Edgar Lungu, even if he's in the mortuary. So his trustees are well known. But those candidates that applied, I also give them respect and I'm consulting them. I'm not interested in faction. Even my brother Brian Mundubira, I know Nabaya, but I'll still continue pursuing him. Now Honorable Mundubira is my brother. I'll call him Kesedi Obwali Kuno, so that we talk and find a solution. President Makebi Zulu, all of them are presidents, those who applied. I call them president. President Makebi Zulu, President Monde, President Shimbakambwili, President Katotowe, President Lubinda, President Dr. Shimbakambwili. Those applicants, I reached, you won't believe, last night at the lunchtime at the Kalava, Ubushiko at the Shimbakambwili. So I don't know Nala and Uncle White. No. All I'm saying, my point there is that I'll find time to engage and have a meal with my brother Brian Mundubile. We are all brothers in the PF, and to see if there's a common ground so that we harmonize ourselves. Let me now move on. I leave the matter of the PF. Let me now move on to President Akainda and political contradiction. It is both surprising that concerning President HH, who has consistently labeled the PF as a corrupt and party for criminals, is now openly embracing defectors from the same party he called a party for criminals. The contradiction raises a serious question. Has the president changed his stance, or he has simply lost vectors or memory of what he said before? You cannot on one hand criminalize individuals and on the other hand welcome them into your inner circle. The last few weeks all we see last few weeks is this one has been defected from a former minister has gone to PF. The same people they were calling thieves, now they are bringing them to me. Uyu Munyamata resigned 2 days ago. Ewa aliat chairman ya Edgar Lungu Market Empowerment Fimofi. Lelo ataya kuja. And Wamchita will come and they are all happy. And these are the people they were calling corrupt. So what has happened to the corruption? They have cleansed them now. No. If indeed these individuals were criminals, they were calling everybody PF criminals. If indeed these individuals were criminals, as previously alleged, what does it say about a leader who now invites them to be part of his administration? Have they also become corruption? Have they also become criminals? You know, if they were groundnuts that were clean, not rotten, now they are taking what they called rotten and putting in their mouth. So even them, then if we are criminals, corrupt, they have also become part of it. Point is, they were all lying. They didn't mean what they said. Let me talk about internal democracy within our party, which I've said, but I'll just summarize. Internal democracy in political parties in Zambia, all of them. Earlier on I was talking about PF, but more so even the ruling party, the UPND. Whatever they do in the opposition or demand, even them, the Constitution of Zambia demands of them. We call upon the ruling party to uphold democratic principles within its own structures. What we are witnessing is not a democratic process, but rather a system of selection disguised as an approach to Article 60, and it is inconsistent with Article 60 of the Constitution of Zambia. which demands internal democracy in political parties. Article 60, Article 61 says, any political party, you must hold internal election. If we were PF, we held, say what you want to say. On the 23rd, 24th October 2023, we held and elected Sampa, and that has been ratified by many court judgments. So we held for a period of 5 years. How about the other parties? They also need to do the same. We urge President HH and his party, UPND, to focus on holding a genuine convention in line with their own constitution, instead of interfering in the affairs of opposition political parties. Last 5 years, they've spent time just looking in the opposition party. Well, who can we disturb? Who can we turn into Kakunkubit to destroy their own party? And they go to this party, they go to this party to kill democracy in there and impose their own leaders. They forgot about their own party to do internal democracy. Now here we are in another in PF kwali akakunkubiti. Now mu UPND kuli chikunkubiti. Now kwa our faction leader. Why? Because now wale wire quarter convention. So we urge them. We are told that they are long overdue, that their internal democracy demanded that they hold their convention a few months ago, which they didn't. We are watching and comparing with Article 60 of the Zambian Constitution, and they are already late. You know, the ECZ will start receiving nomination fee for presidential candidates in 2 weeks' time, 14th of April. The UPND, they have not held their convention. Meanwhile, tulaberengana for a constitution here. Ilandati, you should give a notice for a convention for 30 days. 30 days they have not given. So now now. Because now they need to issue a notice for 30 days. But backdated. We are watching. Meanwhile, ECZ will be receiving a nomination amount on the 14th. Kwashala Shinga before the 14th. So they are already out. Even if they hold it tomorrow, we will remind them that you didn't follow your constitution. And the ruling here kwa Sampa versus Brian Mundubide and the 8 others, it is a landmark ruling because in there it has said, if your term expires, nishitakuli leadership. So UPND na imwe takuli leadership. So yochi kunkubiti mumusunge wina. Balanda tikama. At least if you wakwetaka kunkubiti ka 2.5 liter. Wena wakwete chi 20. Wali omuntu amashinati tembo banda. Governance concerns. As I wind up, the nation is facing serious challenges that require urgent attention. The lesson there is mind on your party business, mind on your home business. Forget focusing about your enemy. If you are going to play Argentina or Zambia, mind about your team. Train them. Not Mulanda Fiat Messi. If you are going to Tamba Messi, to lose 5-0. Now over UPND, their job is just to look. PF. So now in the meantime, Tuala Ingishama goes, and together with other opposition, Wakamwena go on in August 26. The nation, let me talk about governance as I conclude. The nation is facing serious challenges that require urgent attention. University of Zambia, Unza, where I studied myself, I was a monk there in the ruins. Students are living in deplorable and unsanitary conditions that can only be described as a death trap. Instead of addressing these issues, we are witnessing questionable activities, including reports of money being distributed to students by actors. When I was at university, tatuakweta macommanders. Abababula macommanders wafunya bus station na market watola kuuza. Nombati commander kuishiba. Commander kuishiba, instead of looking at the plight of the students and everywhere, they take commanders to Unza. That's how now you have commander toilet, Commander Sanitary, Commander Mulanda Shani, Commander Bini, ni wetu Shilanda. The situation there is deplorable, it's unfortunate, the toilet issues is embarrassing for a university where President HH went, where I went, and others went, and both would not have been where we are now if we did not benefit from the University of Zambia under KK and under Chiluba. Only now the school is struggling with toilets. How will students learn? One toilet is the bare minimum that any institution should have. So we urge this government to quickly resolve that issue there and stop sponsoring Tuma commanders. Fuel shortage. The persistent fuel shortage are crippling our economy and affecting the daily lives of ordinary citizens. This is a clear sign of poor planning and mismanagement. What has happened to no, we plan, no, we are good economic planners. What is that word they would like to use? Logical thinkers. There's a word that President H would like to use. We are methodical. What has happened to being methodical? They saw that there can be a war. The Iran-USA war didn't just start. It was coming. People planned. You stock. You put enough reserves of fuel. Yesterday you saw me riding a motorbike from Kuchiliro, as I saw. It's because we are conserving fuel. Now it costs. Use a motorbike, electrical motorbike. But the situation is die hard. There's no gas in most gas stations in Lusaka and the Copper Belt. And even my car, I must tell you, Naliku, Southern Province, for a funeral of my grandmother, and may her soul rest in peace. But then I drove all the way to Kazungura. Wafika gas station, the vehicle I was driving is petrol. And because there was no fuel anywhere, so when I just found this gas station, there's fuel, I just parked. Now, attendant was excited, put there 2,000. Then I drove 5 meters and the car just broke down. The vehicle is petrol, the petrol attendant put in diesel. That was the end of that vehicle, and my Mercedes is stuck in Livingstone trying to get spares from Botswana, and I flew back. EMA challenges and the cost of not having fuel. Let me go to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We're talking about governance. There, the serious concern remain about whether the ECZ can deliver free and fair election. The unexplained delays surrounding the Electoral Process Amendment Bill 2026 only deepens public suspicion. Mulete numwana oyo lelila. Kana chidimba tawa kwa tabana umwana lelila. Mulete ni mpelenda lama. Mulete ni mpelenda. Mara mwana tukalata lala. Mulete ni mwana kuno. Hello baby, hello baby, hello. Okay. Why are you crying, baby? Here. Give mommy to buy you sweets. No, what? Mukashikire shuga kama ichikoloki, shuga sana. Niyo mukashikire shuga, mukapangire ichikoloki, shuga sana. So we're talking about the ECZ and the Electoral Process Amendment Bill. It only brings deep public suspicion. Parliament has been on recess and we reopen on Tuesday for the final few weeks. But we are aware they are bringing an electoral ECZ bill. In there, all they are thinking is to stop other political parties from participating. But now it has backfired. The same thing, the same thing they wanted to impose to stop others from playing, now it is also backfiring on them. My chair lady for the province says, Tiko says, Mwatuchusha for the last 4 years in your attempt to kill PF. No matter much at PF man, Until the last end, we will fight and fight. The Registrar of Society is another area of governance concern. The institution must remain neutral and not be used as a political tool to undermine opposition parties. Twaliako many times today. Their role, Registrar of Society, is to keep records. When a political party changes office bearers, you inform them and they put there. Now they've even become invigilators or referees, they question, and they've even started this habit. We are waiting for, we have referred to the Attorney General. That's none of our business. When we notify you, you change. If somebody is not happy with that change, goes to court. And you fight in court, and we fought in court ourselves, you prove your case. Now them, even when you take them a judgment, they say, okay, we'll get back to you. Then they respond, we'll refer the matter to the Attorney General. Which part of the Constitution says that? Those are your internal matters. You are supposed to act immediately. We've seen now they've entered in FDD's affairs. Now they entered in NCP's affairs. So we are urging the Registrar of Society to look back what their role is. Theirs is to keep records, that's all. Not to oversee or dictate or oppose or delay. Immediately they are informed they are supposed to change. They've been informed. Judgments have been taken to them. That Mao Sampa is the president of PF. Mao Sampa is also the SG. Pantu SG na isa upela. Kaili na lila pira. Wapelo muntu wachetekela kuchita betray. So first in Pemeko, Jishibati, things are in control. I am happy to give away the SG. Now President Gamulefo, I am happy to give away. But first, until we are solid that we have total control of the PF. The law enforcement agencies, these also, the police especially, these must operate professionally and impartially without targeting opposition figures while shielding those aligned with the ruling party. For the same crime, we don't have no Mukaramba Kubukote, Kuyalala Masero, ku Central Police. Nabambi Barea Fetchla. The other day, my brother Honorable Mundubira was there. Honorable Winda has been there, and many others. But the same offenses they put on us, there are people that do them, they just ignore. I will not mention which ones, you know them yourself. So the law enforcement agencies, the police in particular, should show impartiality and apply the law as it is. They should not become politicians. They should not get involved. Many of their friends have had their fingers bent. Never say never. Never say that, no, HH Tareya is staying forever. We had this in Malawi. Chakwera thought he would stay. He had a lot of money. And he stepped on the opposition, put them in jail. He forgot that the people had the final say. They voted him out. Kuboswana, Masisi, bullied the opposition, bullied President Kama, who had put him there, and he was very excited that he would win. They showed him he lost badly. So Namuno Muzambia, those who think, it's a given, HH has already won, I just laugh. Are they living in this world or not? Have they spoken to all the people of Bowling? Have they spoken to the people of Mtendere, of Chipurukusu, the people of all over in the compounds? They are the ones with the final say. No matter the money you have, no matter the control you have over the law enforcement agencies, if these people have not agreed, the majority Zambians, nothing you can do. So don't be sure that HH will come. He needs to play football. It's football. Well, Zambia, Argentina, they already defeated and they lost 5-0. Congo DR went to play Jamaica a final match to qualify the World Cup. They played with a heart and they won. Point is, it's football. Politics, you cannot predict. We've seen people predict, and after that we've seen presidents cry. We saw Arabi cried when we beat them in 2011. May he so rest in peace. He was a fatherly man, but he was being misled. Like President HH is being misled. No, we've got in control of the army, we are in control of the police, we're in control of bus stations, we're in control of markets, we're in control of Commander Kushiba to Unza. So you are winning, sir. afterwards he lost badly. Aba Zambian nga bakufumamo tabafumamo panono. Bagula afya amavoti yonse okwe bakupele bayatwala opposite. That's why I'm saying as opposition when we unite, I'm available to stand like I've kept saying. No matter in Africa, I'm happy to live for anybody. The first thing I said is to try and live for ECL, but he died. Even our brothers, I'm happy to step aside. Even in these ones outside PF family leaders, I'm happy to stay aside to help support them so that we unite as one. But in Amafoya Masaranda to you win a mouse to winisha mukapapa and can winisha bad. Whichever, I'm happy with that. Free and fair election. We challenge the current administration to level the playing field and allow for free and fair election. The increasing interference in opposition activities suggests a leadership that is fearful of facing the people. President HH risks becoming remembered as the first president who was afraid to contest in a genuinely free and fair election. The writing is on the wall. The Zambian people are ready to change. No amount of political maneuvering will alter that reality. Reminder of Article 60 to all political parties. Friendly and kind reminder to all of you that you should adhere to the requirement for your internal democracy of electing leaders within time frames set in your constitutions. I remind the UPND once again that they are behind schedule and should do so soonest. We don't want a football match without formidable opponents. Whenever Tina opposition, they're ruling, but PF Bala Tina non-stop. Since they won, they just fear PF. But if we don't fear them, we never fear them when they beat us. Even now when they're ruling, we don't fear them. Because we understand it's football, it's how you talk to the people. We want them to be part and active in the general election. But they have to abide by their own constitution. They have to abide by the constitution of the land. Conclusion, to the people of Zambia, the international community, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to democracy, unity and governance. We call upon all opposition political parties to rally together for the greater good of our nation. The future of Zambia depends on what we do today, not tomorrow. And let it be known, whoever emerges on the ballot representing the united opposition shall carry the hopes of millions and millions of Zambians and shall emerge victorious. We all win a tukeminina pobonse. Bonse, that's in the fight. That's why in the shitobunga pano kuipiko kulanda nama leaders na bonse chinabushiko is so that we unite as one. Aba tubika monsala namu beshiba. Abana bansala namu beshiba. Gataba mipere fya kugenda the last 5 years. Baka mipere shana. Inchito baranda ati no, go there and work. Go there and work. You can't. Inchito takwaba. Hii baranda ati cash for work. Baipera fyebeka. Soti sana nomba soti. Warefu ati mulie soti. Nishakwali mwale jila ubali ule kutula na soti. Kwali watu wabula sote wabika mmenshi wanu nishofi walela nati na muluwala wantu nga waluwala pamukoshi eli jovika chigoro cha shuga cha soti wano wachita gago so walenda tumule chitafe gago kwa tina muluwala vanetentuloleshe kwa opposition united ekuli shuga sana bantu shuga nga wachita kutu wapange chikoloki chiteni somo nsefi ya mpange chikoloki. Thank you very much, everyone. May God bless you and may God bless the Republic of Zambia. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, members of the press, like we always do. You introduce yourself with any questions, which institution you represent, your name, question. Stick to the subject matter, what the president has addressed. I know you have been here for a long time. I know you would want to I'll move away from me as quickly as possible. Are there any questions? I saw Hazel, our president. Hazel, where are you? No, it's not.
We're trying to introduce MCC. Namunana Mayoba na lady, Vanasala, Matero chair lady, and then you can come and you can ask the question. Tamunu Nemo. I'm going to ask you a question. I will introduce you later.
I think I'm on to enough. Yes, go ahead. 2 questions. Yes, sir. Robert Chavinga continues to say he's president of the Patriotic Front. With the court judgment, what's the position for him today? And then the second question is, you quoted the UPND constitution, or where they stand in terms of the convention, and we are less than 2 weeks before ECZ begins to have presidential nominations. What happens in a situation that they apply, ECZ accepts their nomination for the presidential candidate? What happens at that level? What is it that the Constitution tells us? Or what is it that you in the opposition are going to do about it?
Thank you. Honorable Robert Chavinga, I'm not competent to answer. I talk about members who are members of the political party I lead, called the Patriotic Front. You saw him, he's going to UPND. Haven't you seen him at UPND rallies and UPND events? So maybe that, as far as we are concerned, he's going to UPND and we respect his decision and all those that have gone. Unless he decides to come back, then we can talk. As for Morgan Ngonari Martin is in court, I will not comment. On the 2 weeks, the law is law. We are told Zambia is run by the rule of law. The rule of law says political parties should respect their constitutions and should respect the constitution of Zambia. So if the UPND constitution says for a gathering to take place to elect leaders, there should be a 1 month notice. And ECZ wants a nomination fee in 2 weeks. They are already out of time. What shall we do? It's not for me to say. Remember I said I'm consulting with all these people I mentioned. The candidates who had applied under PF, the leaders this year left, and the other partners, the Pamosi Alliance partners were consulting, and any other. Then we'll see what we can do about that. But to be honest, me, I want President Echech to participate so that we can beat him clean. Yes. Since he beat us clean in 2021, also we should beat him clean. Yes. So let them put their books in order and he participates. And so it will be a litmus test for ECZ. Whatever they do to PF, we know, we have documented. So they should do the same to UPND. Any other? We can hear you speak.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Yeah.
My name is Joseph Zanda from the Springtime newspaper. I'm getting confused here. My question is, just let me see him. The purported convention which elected the Makebi Zulu as the PF president. There's also a court order that does put you as a legitimate president. So, what is your comment to the other side? The other side you have answered, now what is the other side?
Well, I'm here to talk about matters to do with me as the legal president of the PF from 2023 2028, as so ratified by a number of High Court judgments. The other issues possibly I'm not competent to answer. If there was a gathering I did not attend, so I cannot speak for an event that I was not there. There are competent people who can answer that event. That said, I've said I'm happy to work and willing to discuss with all the people. And he said earlier on, I've met all of them, and I keep meeting them, and I keep talking to any of them. I keep talking to President Lubinda, President Kalava, President Kambwili, President Mudolo. Anybody who applied becomes a president. Exactly. When you apply to be president. President Katoto, President Kambwili, President Chitaruchilufia, President Monde, President Makebi. We keep talking and I keep trying to find a solution. As late as this morning, I was talking to President Makebi. He's in South Africa and we spoke for good 20 minutes. So none of them is my enemy. Even Brian, I try to call him sometimes, but his phone half the times I struggle to get hold of him. And when he answers, we'll discuss. And so that event or the gathering, I'm not competent to answer. There I'm not competent to say. But I've invited everybody and all those that worked with President Lungu. I've invited Balubinda. I've invited Baluo Vakapata. Vane, tuwala chikashani hapa. Thank you.
I assume we are done. Everything is okay. Let me ask Charity Bando.
You know, she was to introduce the one day. You say you kind out for you go. Come here.
I found a member.
Aba Nawaba Londoro, how did you end up being healed as that?
Richard Monse? Oui. Richard Monse? Oui. Okay. Nami Posha Monse. National and never you at the PF. Nango waka poke PF nango ali pokele national dia cha new at the PF. So I think I will give my Shiva. I'm a provincial official. So to Adibo Manenu, Manaka from 2001 up to today. Tatuanaka. So my name is Joseph. I'm happy that my person went to Besu. Napata mwele numa na vambi filonga no fefa tuishi vete tulumule vale tukumbano tukumbu. Tualikele 10 years more position. So effort we ngafi bafish. So check to kose. To send a message over pair ba president. Turondo reko abantu mu community zo mutuli kala bashishi official experience kamchalo. Na totempa.
Thank you. Send my two last introduction.
Barishani Monse Mkwai. Very Mkwai. Amashina yandine was just finished Mboka Water Constituency Charity. Then Posha Mkwai.
Thank you, Mario. Last because it's important, is representing the Pamozi Alliance. Introduce yourself. Is the Council of Leaders of the Pamozi Alliance.
I'm Jeff Banda. I'm the president for Patriotic Foundation, and I'm also national chairman for people with disability in the Pamozi Alliance. For what I will just say is that we will never let illegalities to continue in this country. People who are busy perpetrating illegalities will make sure that once you are out of power, office, and anything sort of that, we are sharing your pensions. For that, be assured that whenever you are given an opportunity to serve the people with honesty, serve the people with the heart, and stop these illegalities. Otherwise, your pensions will be shared. So when you are in that office, and you know that whatever you are doing is an illegality, that whatever you are busy pushing for are agendas to destroy our democracy, just know for your own information that we are sharing your pension.
Thank you. Last but not the least, to thank you journalists and for any logistics amenshi amnefu amenshi tapoko ino kumana National anthem chorus and prayer.
The last stanza.
Africa is our motherland, fashioned with and raised by God's hands. Let us all people join us once, brothers under the sun. Oh, one strong and free.
Praise be to praise be, praise be, praise be. Praise sacred nation, Zambia, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia. Praise to thee, all one strong and free.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Prayer.
Prayer of our charity.